This every day to a narcissist, I'm 10,000% sure they'll go crazy and suffer a lot. Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. We're thrilled to have you with us today as we dive into an intriguing topic: what narcissists do daily when you stop communicating with them. It's fascinating to ponder what goes through a narcissist's mind when you decide to cut off all contact. Whether you've been with a narcissist for years or just a few months, going no contact can vary greatly depending on the depth and length of your relationship. Today, we'll explore these differences to help you understand what to expect when you choose to stop talking to a narcissist. When you cease communication with a narcissist, their reactions are often predictable. They believe it's your responsibility, not theirs, to re-establish contact. Initially, they are confident they can break your resolve because they see themselves as superior and view your emotions as a weakness. They hope you'll eventually cave and reach out. Why do they think this way? They perceive you as the emotional one, the empathetic one, the one with a heart. To them, this looks like weakness. They believe your feelings will overpower you and you'll give in. Therefore, it's crucial to stick to your decision to go no contact. Do not reach out, no matter what. Even if it's their birthday or their mother's birthday, whom you might be fond of, maintaining silence is key to showing that you're done with the relationship for good. If you decide to stop talking to a narcissist, don't expect them to be too upset about it. Narcissists have little regard for others' feelings, so they won't be concerned about how you're doing. They'll quickly find someone else to fill the void you left. Often, they were already grooming a backup while they were with you because they can't stand the idea of being alone. Stay strong and remember that your well-being is the priority. Cutting off contact with a narcissist is a crucial step in reclaiming your peace and moving forward. Narcissists are always on the lookout for praise and admiration from multiple sources. When you cut them off, they simply move on to their next target. They often have a few backup options lined up in case the first one doesn't work out. Now that you're not in the picture, they dive right into their new supply, relishing the excitement of something new. They also keep other options open in case things don't pan out with the new person. During this time, they have little regard for your well-being. However, they might think of you again if their new supply doesn't go as planned, or if they can't control the new person as they anticipated. Narcissists typically avoid giving closure because they like to keep their options open. They won't back down unless there's a significant, messy confrontation. Many do try to come back, but not all. Their return depends on the severity of the split and whether they still want something from you. If you have something they desire, like money, a business, a nice house, or anything else, they might attempt to get back together with you to regain access to those resources. They'll employ tactics like hovering to draw you back into the relationship. Often, this is because they're dissatisfied with their new source or believe enough time has passed for you to forget how they treated you. For instance, if you stopped talking to them because you caught them cheating or suspected infidelity, narcissists will wait for a while and then move on to someone else. Eventually, they might decide to re-enter your life. That's when they start hoovering. They might say things like, "How have you been?" Or, "It's been a while since we've talked," or, "I miss you." They aim to draw you back in without ever addressing the issues that led to the breakup. They act as if nothing ever happened. If you discovered that the narcissist wasn't who they claimed to be, it's natural to feel deeply upset. You're heartbroken because they lied about being loving and committed, promising a future together. When you decide to cut off communication, you're left feeling alone, without a backup plan, and grappling with the belief you had in the love you shared. After the narcissist ends things, you're left heartbroken and confused, wondering how they could go from being so affectionate to acting indifferent. Narcissists stop being kind once they think they have you hooked. They believe they've secured you and no longer need to maintain the facade. That's when they start looking for their next target. To them, it's a game, and they're always seeking new excitement. Even if things are going well with you, they're constantly on the lookout for more. While keeping you around as a backup, they flirt with others, always ready to move on if things go wrong. Once you see through their tricks and cut them off, they quickly shift their focus to someone else. Eventually, they might try to win you back, whether you're aware of it or not. Many people wonder, do narcissists miss you when you're not around? Understand that narcissists think very differently from you. They may miss what you did for them, but not who you are or the love you shared. If they truly cared, they wouldn't let you go. A narcissist would never let go of someone they genuinely valued. A narcissist will always put themselves first, even if they have feelings for you. They won't genuinely care about your well-being because they'll be focused on their new interest. Many narcissists believe that you'll always be there for them, and that no one else could be as invested in them as you were. They're convinced that you'll be there for them when they return from pursuing someone else, even if you haven't talked in a while. This is their narrative. However, telling a narcissist that you're dating someone else can really throw them off balance. That's when they realize the attention they once received is now directed elsewhere. Their level of concern varies based on how preoccupied they are. If they have plenty of other sources of attention, they might not care much about what you're doing. Conversely, if they're feeling lonely or things aren't going well for them, they'll try to win you back. They'll resort to all sorts of tactics, from bribing you to making you feel wanted again. When they attempt to rekindle the relationship, ask yourself, if they truly loved or cared about me, they wouldn't have risked losing me in the first place. Someone who genuinely cares would have worked through issues rather than disappearing and then returning later. If you cut off contact with a narcissist, they might not try to reconnect for a long time, indicating their attachment to you wasn't as strong as they wanted you to believe. Remember, narcissists only care about themselves. When they try to come back, it's usually because something else went wrong, or they still want something from you. They may believe they can still control or deceive you, so they'll test the waters to see if you're still susceptible to their tricks. They know you might still fall for their manipulations if you engage with them. Keep in mind the lies, deceit, and potential betrayals from the past. Their bad behavior will continue as long as you stay involved with them. Narcissists often rely on their looks to win you back, believing their charm will work once more. But just because they look good doesn't mean they're valuable. Both narcissists and regular people can be attractive, but when a narcissist has little else to offer, they might use their appearance to manipulate others. Many people fall for this, swayed by their looks and considering giving the relationship another chance. But keep in mind that if you let a narcissist back into your life, they will likely abuse you again. They might change their behavior for a short while, maybe up to 2 months if you're lucky, but eventually the same problems will resurface. They'll abandon you again. If they can convince you to give them another chance, they'll probably continue to exploit you while pursuing other people. They'll see your willingness to take them back as a sign of weakness or desperation. They'll assume that you'll always be there for them, even if you argue and stop talking to them. Returning to a narcissist repeatedly can make you seem hopeless and lower others' opinions of you. It shows that you're willing to tolerate their bad behavior. If there are problems in your relationship, it's crucial to address them immediately. While taking some space after a fight can be necessary, long breaks can severely damage your relationship. During these breaks, either of you could talk to or even date other people. The time apart can introduce new issues when you reunite, such as wondering if the other person made new connections. This only exacerbates the original problems that led to the break. If you can't work things out and find a compromise, it might be a sign that you're not meant to be together. Resolving issues is especially important in serious relationships or for couples with children, as kids are profoundly affected by their parents' actions. It's not just about you, it's also about them. You should also consider the consequences of your actions. Many people act without thinking about how it might affect others, even their own family. If you choose to go no contact with someone, make sure you stay away from them for good. Accept that the relationship was unhealthy and that the bad times with the narcissist outweighed the good ones. End the relationship for good. Trust is the foundation of a healthy relationship, and you can't live in constant fear of being hurt. Staying away from someone can be hard and lonely, but it's much better than wasting your life on a toxic relationship. Allowing a narcissist to cross your boundaries repeatedly will eventually lead to a breaking point where one of you has to leave. Remember, life is short, and spending it with the wrong people is a significant mistake. When interacting with others, prioritize knowledge and steer clear of those who are dishonest or try to gaslight you. Focus on building connections with mature individuals who value honest communication and collaboration in solving problems. If you're using the no-contact approach with a narcissist, consider trying the grey rock method. This involves emotionally detaching and becoming unresponsive, making yourself uninteresting to them. Block them on all platforms and ignore any attempts to contact you through their network. If you co-parent with a narcissist, ensure you strictly adhere to legal guidelines regarding communication and custody arrangements. We hope this video has provided you with valuable insights. If you found it helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more informative content. Check the description below for details on the free book and one-on-one sessions. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video. Have a wonderful day. Is the narcissist in your life behaving as though they're beyond reproach? In today's broadcast, I aim to shed light on why divine justice might seem delayed and how God addresses pride, manipulation, and deceit. Stick around, and I'll provide the insights you've been seeking. By the end of our time together, your wavering faith will find renewed strength. In the annals of biblical history, one figure epitomizes the concept of divine fairness. Jezebel, immortalized in the books of 1st and 2nd Kings. Married to Ahab, the king of Israel, Jezebel was a conniving, malicious individual who masked her true nature behind a facade of charm and allure, often assuming the guise of a victim. Sound familiar? Narcissists often exude an air of indispensability, yet beneath the surface, they reveal themselves to be self-absorbed, immature individuals willing to manipulate and exploit others to fulfill their desires. Jezebel's legacy is tainted by her promotion of the worship of Baal, a Canaanite deity antithetical to the worship of God. Notorious for orchestrating the murder of Naboth to usurp his vineyard and persecuting God's prophets, she operated with impunity, emboldened by her husband's acquiescence. Prophet Elijah's wrath was kindled by her actions, a testament to the depth of her transgressions. Despite the havoc she wreaked, Jezebel always emerged victorious, wielding her influence to manipulate situations to her advantage. Whether in the workplace, where she dupes the boss or instills fear in her colleagues, Jezebel embodies a universal archetype transcending gender. These characteristics are not confined to a specific gender. They manifest in individuals of all backgrounds and orientations. God operates in similar ways. It's crucial to discern patterns that might elude us when consumed by fear and anger. Firstly, God abhors idolatry and deceit. Jezebel's advocacy for Baal worship and her suppression of true worship exemplify narcissistic behavior. Like Jezebel, narcissists fabricate false personas and elevate themselves above others. Yet, remember, God detests the worship of false gods. Exodus 20 admonishes, "You shall have no other gods before me." While you might think, they don't worship idols, consider their obsession with self-image akin to gazing into a mirror. Narcissists exalt themselves and prioritize their desires over God. Beware, they seek your worship as well. Ever noticed how conflicts escalate when you challenge them? Their fragile pride mirrors the fragility of that mirror. Just as God cautioned the Israelites against idolatry in Deuteronomy 6, he also admonished Jezebel. Rest assured, God extends grace and offers opportunities for redemption, even to the narcissist. That marks the beginning. God will send signals. In truth, Jezebel's tale need not have concluded in such a manner. I'll delve deeper into that shortly. We're all granted opportunities and alerts repeatedly, akin to narcissists. I mean, how many times did God have to nudge your or my conscience to elicit a response? We can veer away from wrongdoing and seek forgiveness if we heed those signs. Failure to heed them leads straight to destruction. Indeed, that's precisely what transpired with Jezebel. Despite Elijah and other prophets confronting her, Jezebel defied their counsel. She even plotted to slay Elijah. Following his demonstration of God's power on Mount Carmel, where he summoned fire from heaven to incinerate a sacrifice, the prophets of Baal, championed by Jezebel, faced humiliation. What ensued? Incensed by the ordeal, she threatened Elijah's life too. We're well acquainted with her tactics, aren't we? Remember Naboth. Doesn't that echo the response of an injured ego? Cross them, and they harbour everlasting animosity. Moreover, they are easily offended. Should they perceive a slight or deceit from you, they'll go to great lengths to retaliate. In light of this, I imagine Elijah inquiring of God, "How will you address this woman? What justice prevails?" Nevertheless, God remains faithful. It's not his desire for anyone to perish. He desires the salvation of all, including you and me. God provides ample opportunities for repentance and often issues warnings through intermediaries. All right, I see where you're coming from. The initial warning phase can feel like an eternity for those anticipating justice and transformation. It's during this stretch that many contemplate retaliatory actions, only to find themselves in deeper despair. It's disheartening to witness some losing faith in God and hope during this period. But here's the kicker. Divine justice is on its way, my friend. God will set things right. Jezebel's story often serves as a testament to God's fairness. Even Elijah couldn't halt her reign of terror. Divine intervention was necessary. In case you're unfamiliar with the tale, let me give you the lowdown. Elijah prophesied a grisly demise for Jezebel, and indeed, her end was gruesome. Cast out of a window by her own courtiers, she met her demise under the hooves of horses, her remains devoured by dogs, leaving behind only her head, feet, and palms. See 2 Kings 9. It was a direct consequence of her actions, a divine retribution. Today, God will not be mocked, my friend. Those who flout his commandments and persecute his people will face their downfall and consequent punishment, just as Jezebel did. That narcissist in your life, adept at manipulating others for personal gain, devoid of empathy, twisting scripture to justify their deeds. They'll meet their fate akin to Jezebel's. Maybe not as harrowing, but fair nonetheless, because God's righteousness prevails. The reality is, everyone, even narcissists, will face the consequences of their actions eventually. Your ego might not reach Jezebel levels of evil, but it could still lead to some serious repercussions. Perhaps they won't meet such a gruesome end as Jezebel did, but God might let them suffer in other ways. For narcissists, this often means perpetual dissatisfaction, failure, and unhappiness. That's why sociopaths tend to deteriorate as they age. Essentially, God may allow them to be consumed by their own destructive thoughts and habits at some point. And when that moment arrives, it may seem like justice is elusive. But trust me, it's agonizing for them. Picture this: perpetually discontented, constantly craving more but unable to attain it. The fleeting satisfaction they find in others' suffering is their only solace. I'm not suggesting that your justice hinges on their suffering. Rather, I want you to understand that their seemingly happy lives are nothing but a facade. Your justice lies in the truth that God can turn the tables, redeem the years lost to pain, and bring joy amidst sorrow. Just hold steady. Moreover, I'm not sharing this to evoke pity for them. They've chosen their path. Their refusal to heed God's call has led them to this dismal existence, marred by agony, fury, and ceaseless attempts to satisfy insatiable desires. It's a bleak cycle of stagnation and frustration, akin to living in hell. What awaits narcissists? A perpetual torment of their own making, both in their minds and their lives. You know, I wouldn't trade places with them for anything. And it gets even worse when you think about what their ego truly craves. It's you, us, people. They feed off of others like parasites, rarely letting go of those they exploit and abuse. So what happens when their toxic behavior finally catches up with them? They're left standing alone, abandoned by everyone except maybe a few who rely on them out of necessity, or a deluded grocery store clerk who thinks they matter. But make no mistake, they're utterly isolated, with no real connections left. Sure, they'll play the victim card, pointing fingers at everyone and everything, including you. But deep down, narcissists are perpetually discontented. I get that you may care about them and wish they find happiness, but if they refuse to change, your support won't make a dent. God remains steadfast, unyielding in the face of their manipulations, just as he was against Jezebel. Take comfort, friend, for neither the devil nor a narcissist holds sway over our Almighty God. When narcissists twist the Bible to suit their agenda, they lead you to question whether you're the one in the wrong. Tune in to discover the 4 Bible verses they love to distort. And if you're grappling with difficult individuals in your life, grab a copy of our free guide on handling toxic people. It's my gift to you, designed to help navigate the challenges posed by those tough characters. Check the description below for the link.